Hi and welcome to the channel. This is a 1974 Starcraft Chieftain, 18 foot. This channel will be dedicated to this boat. I just picked it up, so I haven't gone through it a whole lot. So we'll just do a walk around, take a look at things. We'll start off with the trailer. It's a 2005 Easy Loader. In pretty good shape. Some of the lights weren't working. I think it's electrical issues, probably just the wires. Oil-filled hubs. I've been looking for one of these boats for a long time, and a lot of them I've seen have been corroded or really beat up. Lots of loose rivets, lots of issues. So that's what I've been looking for, is a boat that has a decent hull. Now the issue with this year is the chine here isn't reinforced. The later years it is. So some people end up with the chine splitting right here. This one looked to be good. I can see in some areas that the paint is wrinkling, so it's possible that it's been flexing, and hopefully that doesn't become an issue for me. I don't know if you can see that. I don't think that's very easy to see. But the paint is a little bit wrinkly right along here, which indicates to me that it has been flexing a little bit. But part of that will be addressed hopefully down the road, and the plan is to do this project in sections. So one section will reinforce that chine and so on and so forth. But for the most part, I haven't been able to find rivets that are falling out or any major splitting or cracking. The hull is a little dirty, but it's cleaned up where I've tested it. I haven't even cleaned this. There's something, a little rubbing there, and the previous owner marked that one rivet, so we'll definitely take a look at that one and see what's going on. But for the most part, a good inspection of it before I bought it indicated to me that it was going to be a decent candidate to mess with. Again, we might get into it and find something horrible, hopefully not. There's the other side. Come around here to the transom, and this was an issue. This is a known issue. This transom is toast, and we can see the hold down eye is pulling out. And let me see if I can get in here. I don't know if you can see that, but the transom is pulling away from the splash well, and I didn't know this, and maybe this is not how all of them are, but this is exposed wood right here, and I know this was probably an old treated type of wood, but I was kind of surprised to see that. Maybe if anybody out there knows more about these Starcrafts, they could let me know if that was typical or if they're missing something. So yes, the transom is rotted. We'll jump in and take a look at it from the inside. And this side, they added this kicker mount, and I think that really helped expedite the rotting, because this isn't very well sealed. You can see it's just falling apart right there. So this is kind of the worst spot. And it gets better as you get in towards the center where the motor's mounted. Over here we've got quite a few old accessories that have made quite a few penetrations. So that'll be addressed somehow after we get the transom all pulled apart. These drain tubes don't look like the ones I'm used to where there's an inside flange. It's just a bunch of gooped up stuff in there. Definitely rotting through that area. Up inside the boat, the previous owner put down this floor, and what I first thought was pressure treated plywood, which was setting off some alarm bells. But I think that the top side of this is green from maybe growing a little bit of moss. The sheet, I did pull out a sheet here, and the sheet I pulled out did not appear to be pressure treated plywood, so that was good. And he told me it wasn't, but that's not something that I'm going to take his word on. I'm not sure what the plan was here, but there's 2 layers of 3/4 inch plywood, and this plywood here looks like an MDO, and what it looks like to me is concrete forms. So there's a ridiculous amount of weight here in this floor system, so that needs to come out, and we need to take a look underneath anyway to see how our rivets are doing and whatever else might be under there. Hopefully we don't find any corrosion. Like I said, on the outside and under the hull looks pretty good, so we'll hope that under here is good as well. Again, you can see the 2 layers here. He did tell me he pulled it up and pulled the foam and put his own sheet foam down there, and I'm seeing some expanded polystyrene right there, which looks like it has a foil face. Here we can see the inside of the transom. That's kind of the rotted area. There's an old fuel filler and an old fuel line. It just came with this, and guy has like a, can't get that to focus. That's just like an air fitting. So I'm not sure what was going on there. There's the other side of the transom. Probably a little better shape over here, and you can see the bilge through hull fitting. And the cuddy is decent. The cushions are decent. The bulkhead has been getting hit with some water, so that bulkhead will have to be replaced. The door has seen better days, but I think for now it can be utilized and maybe in the future changed out. But for now we're going to utilize it. The goal of this project is to get this boat on the water, a real solid boat on the water, but in a cheap fashion. So we're not going to do anything too fancy until we've got her on the water and done some test runs, make sure that we aren't up against something that would be catastrophic to the project. This cuddy, these are the old plexiglass, and I think the newer models have glass here. I have a buddy that works with this stuff, will help me make a new one of these and plop it in there. The window seals are all sorts of out of whack, and you can see this is a Pacific Northwest moss everywhere, always. So that's what is running down along here and damaging our bulkhead in those 2 areas. Otherwise, the cushions are vintage, but they're all here, so that's one thing we don't have to do right now, is get anything like that. Previous owner did put in a bow tank of some kind, freshwater bow tank, and then up here he used a, this looks like a polyisosanurate foam, another foil face foam, and I don't know that this has any flotation qualities or not, but that's all going to have to get taken out and we'll do something else. You can see a little bit of the inside of the hull here. Looks pretty clean. I can see that there has been water in here, but this thing has also been stored outside in the rain for however many winters, so that could be anything. And this is the inside of the chine. So that will be inspected on the inside and outside very carefully to see if there's any splitting. And then we will make some brackets that will remove these rivets and bring a bracket up. Something like in here eventually. I'll have to get on some forums and see what other guys have done or are doing. It came with some canvas, but he couldn't find the back curtain, the drop curtain. It was stored in the dirt in his driveway, so it's kind of funky. Hopefully it'll clean up for now and be usable, because I don't want to invest in something like that quite yet. The helm leaves a little bit to be desired. There's some fresh switches in here, nothing's labeled, so I'll have to figure all that out. But this will all be going away and we'll get some much simpler system going on. It's also kind of a rat's nest there, so that could possibly be a project as well. It looks like this topside paint on the gunnel here, and maybe we can get out to the bow. It looks like that was done not factory, and it appears to be failing. Again, I don't know, maybe you guys know whether that's the original paint, but it doesn't look original to me. Also, I haven't even had a chance to clean this. I just got it home and I've been pretty busy. All the bow rails and everything are in great shape, which was a big bonus for me. I've seen quite a few where it looks like a tree fell on them or something. And we have a main motor. This is a Johnson 140 V4 VRO. The VRO has been deleted, and I believe it's a 1986. We'll go down and take another peek at that. I'm trying not to be too clumsy with the camera here. So I was told these motors run. For the price that I bought this for, I wasn't going to hassle the seller and make him run them for me. So I took it home, and this did fire up, and I've done a compression test. All 4 cylinders, cold motor, all 4 cylinders are at 120 psi for the compression test. It started very smoky and a lot of unburnt fuel mixture in my water tank. I had it in this tank here because it's loud and I don't want to bother the neighbors with an extremely loud motor. The smoke is bad enough. So this needs a thorough review and inspection. And so yesterday I built this motor stand with materials that I had laying around the house. I think that'll hold. It's so anyway, it was free. Took me a couple hours to put together. So I need to figure out how to get this off of there and onto here. I have a couple ideas. Again, I'm trying to do this for as little money as I can. That's part of the challenge of this project. I can't just go spending a ton of money and make it easy. This is my old boat, which will need to get sold. It's a 14-foot Mirocraft Fish and Ski 1984 with a 1986 Mercury 35 horse on it, and it's a really cool little boat. It's really fun, but it's pretty small on the Columbia River, and it's very small for a family of 4. It also came with a kicker, and I have it on this Farm Tech setup here, which I hope some of you appreciate and not too many people cringe at it. This is a Mercury 8 horse. I'm not exactly sure of the year. The serial number is on there. I don't know if you can probably, there it is. This one, the top cylinder came in at 120 psi. Unfortunately, the bottom cylinder is coming in under 90 or right at 90 psi. So that's bumming me out. But I have some seafoam sprayed into there. I'm hoping it's just sticking rings. If not, it's not the end of the world. But and it may be that this isn't the kicker we want to use anyway. This is a tiller. And I was thinking for a boat like that, I might want one that's controlled from the helm. Again, this is way far into the future. So that is about what we have, at least for the walk around. I got it for about the value of the trailer. So again, I wasn't going to be too picky, and I wasn't going to negotiate too hard on the other items. I'm just going to have to take it how it comes and hope for the best. I've always wanted one of these. I've lusted after them for many, many years. So I'm just excited to have this in the driveway so that I can mess with it. I'm not sure my timeline for this to get it seaworthy. There's a lot of things that come in between me and this project. Kids and wife and life. So those are the priorities, and then this fits in where it does. But I will be sure to include you on this journey and try to show you guys what I'm doing. I'm not a super experienced boat guy, but I have been working on things my whole life, and this is the exact project I've been hoping for. So thanks for checking it out with me, and follow along.